Yes, you have found the Floppernomicon. Look upon my object of power and learn its many secrets. Yes, this game, one of my favorites. Ooh. You know, I got my first kiss while playing this game. You may be wondering how I died. Well, that's a story for another time. You know, there's still time to go to the bathroom before the show starts. You're listening to Page turning ASMR. I mean, studying the Floppernomicon. Is this the one that requires costumes? No? Oh, well. Being a disembodied voice hasn't been great for my romance game. Ooh, this one's a good one. Yes, you have found the Floppernomicon. Look upon my object of power and learn its many secrets. Yes, this game. One of my favorites. Ooh. You know, I got my first kiss while playing this game. You may be wondering how I died. Well, that's a story for another time. You know, there's still time to go to the bathroom before the show starts.
Turn your head.
This is gonna be in the highlight reel of the
page
blooper
turning
reel.
ASMR. I
Yeah,
mean,
I figured.
studying
Yeah,
the
I was on to you,
Flopronomicon.
Rigamarole. I knew. So am I actually on? I am actually on. No. Okay.
You're on.
Rigamarole in the background, transmitting coughs across the internet. I love it. Good evening. Welcome to the third Friday virtual all-you-can-eat improv show with us, ComedyFLOPs. Well, me and other folks that you'll meet in a moment. Thanks for being here. If you're out there, not watching us in replay, we do keep these up on YouTube. This is our monthly virtual show, and each month we support a different organization in our community. This month we're supporting Tompkins Community Action, and we supported them at our downstairs show this past Wednesday. We'll support them at our fourth Thursday show next week at the 8 Gallery in Cortland. So lots of opportunities to support a great organization. If this is your first time watching us, the format is just that. We're going to do improv games on the screen. Everything you see still will be made up in the moment based on suggestions we'll get from you. Now, how you give us suggestions is to put them in the chat. And so I'm going to ask you for a suggestion for our first game, and you can think about that while I tell you the rest of the stuff. So I want you to think about different occupations that a person might have and start populating those in the chat. And then in a moment, I'll tell you what we'll do with those. But let's first introduce our cast tonight. We have a very funny and talented cast, including a new cast member making their virtual debut. They did their in-person debut on Wednesday and just brought the house down. So let's start by welcoming here to Virtual Improv, Evelyn.
Woo! Nerd.
All right.
I shouldn't take a hit of my lollipop.
Yeah, don't choke on your lollipop. That's bad form. Let's no, you can stay on camera unless you're choking. Then call 911. Okay, good. Let's welcome the Moonman. We can't see him in the sky, but you can see him here tonight. There he is.
Ooh.
French Open just happened. Champion this year, sadly, was not Joe Lobb.
No pesos.
I was right.
No pesos.
There we go.
The man behind all the mischief, including transmitting coughs across the internet. Let's welcome Rigamarole.
Pay no attention to the man in front of the curtain.
That's right. And finally, providing snacks, as they always do, let's welcome Hand Rations. All right, that is our guest tonight. I'm your host, Creme, Fraiche, and so let's start the party. What I need from you, as I mentioned before, is in the chat to start putting different occupations we could have, and I see some of them starting to come. And this is so we can play a game called World's Worst. We'll pick the occupation, and then we will, in just brief moments, demonstrate the world's worst person at doing that particular occupation. And so, to start us off, we have from our friend Leathertown Entertainment, Bricklayer, the world's worst bricklayer. Oh, they're stumped. Joe Lobb.
I've been on this job for 6 months and I ain't been laid yet.
But
That could be the world's worst bricklayer. It's true. Moonman.
It's gonna take a while. I make my own bricks.
No, thank you.
I was waiting for that. I knew someone was going to go there. Yeah, absolutely. Hand rations.
I think I've played enough Jenga in my life to be able to keep the structure up. Let's steal some bricks here.
Riggy.
Kyle, we need to talk. We're letting you go. And yes, it's because you can't stop going, brick! Damn it! House! Every time we finish a job.
All right. Let's get world's worst gardener. World's worst gardener. Moonman.
Yeah, the tomatoes always grow better if you put a body under there first.
Evelyn.
The plants go above the dirt.
Well, the plants always grow better if you put a little brick in there.
No, thank you.
Moonman.
Oh, that's an aphid. Grab the flamethrower.
Yo, Lob.
When you told me to fertilize the plants, I didn't know exactly what you had in mind.
And Riggy drops off the screen as he comprehends where Joe Lob's going with that.
It was unrelated.
World's worst traffic cop. From our friend Mrs. Gumby. Riggy.
Hold it right there. I don't care if you're a snowman. You're gonna obey the signs.
Joe Lob.
I don't care which way the traffic goes. I just want my pattern to be aesthetically pleasing.
Moonman.
Come on, this is a cereal aisle. Come on, just slow through here.
World's worst traveling vacuum salesperson. Moonman.
I guarantee my products suck.
It's like, who's going to get to that first? We're building off that. When's the last time you had a really good sucking? Rigamarole.
Go all the way to Detroit. They got dirty floors here, ain't they?
Screw. Joe Lob.
Now, let me demonstrate how superior our vacuum is. Let me just dump these ashes on the floor. Oh, you don't have electricity? Oh, no.
That was from a movie, I think.
Really?
Moonman, yeah, I think so. Happened in Costello, I believe.
Now, if you get lonely, I suggest you don't stick anything in there. It's not going to end well. I guarantee it.
Rigamarole.
You know, I just want to give a quick demonstration. Let me just dump these ashes on the floor. Oh. These aren't mine. This is my Tupperware.
Okay, and finally, last one, world's worst superhero. Joe Lob.
When you need some introspection, call for Introvert Man.
Moonman.
I'm here to protect you. Wait, you're not one of my corporate sponsors.
Riggy.
We all know that Superman is from Krypton. Well, I'm from Shoot Me in the Headland.
Yo, Lob.
When I walk through the mall, you wouldn't believe what a pain this X-ray vision really is.
You wouldn't believe how many times this thing gives me a wedgie. And rations.
With great power comes great responsibility. Thankfully, I don't have to do anything because I'm Madam Mediocre.
Rigamarole.
Back in the old days, we used to hang out with this guy named Adam West, and there was a lot more dancing. Now everybody's just brooding all the time. I'd love to go back to the dancing superhero days.
Nobody jump in, just let him dance.
Yeah, I know. That's the... Or you could jump in and join them, but you know. Yeah. So I will say this, and that's world's worst. But
It's too late. Already started.
Go with it. But if
World's worst answer.
We're looking
If
at it.
Hand Rations didn't have a name, Madam Mediocre would have been it.
Let me see if I can make myself host. I'll change your name.
Yeah, you probably can. All right. So for our next game, we're going to play a little thing called Broken Record. This is a 3-person scene. And each flop will have 2 short phrases that they'll be assigned. And with those 2 short phrases, they'll inform the scene. One person will be able to talk normally, and the other 2 can only use one of their 2 phrases. And then at various points, we'll switch. I'll say scratch the record, and we'll throw talking privileges to someone else. And somehow they'll need to build a scene out of that. So I see the phrases are starting to come in, and this is a game, by the way, for the Moonman, Rigamarole, and Hand Rations will be the folks in that scene. Moonman, we're going to start with you being the person who can talk, and Riggy and Hand Rations can only say one of a couple of phrases. So Riggy, are you ready for your phrases? Okay. We're going to give you first, I taste blood.
I taste blood.
All right. And your second phrase will be, that was golden.
That was golden, and I taste blood.
Yep. Hand Rations, you ready for your phrases?
Yep.
Okay, your first phrase is, I couldn't laugh harder. And your second phrase is, pump it up.
Okay.
All right.
it up.
Pump it up.
Yeah, it's wild.
Moonman, you ready for yours?
I am.
First phrase is, what comes around goes around. And your second one is, wow, that's great.
Comes around, goes around. Wow, that's great.
All right, quick review, Riggy.
I taste blood, and that was golden. Can we switch one of mine and Moonman's, because we have similar? That was golden, and it's great, or something like that. Is way too similar. Can we get 2 different ones, or one different one? One of us.
Sure. How about... Did I give? I don't think that's how you do it to anybody.
No.
Riggy, why don't you take that one?
Okay. I taste blood. That's not how you do it to somebody?
I don't think that's how you do it.
I don't think that's how you do it. Okay.
Okay, good. Hand Rations.
I couldn't laugh harder and pump it up.
Okay, Moon.
What comes around goes around. Wow, that's great.
Okay, let's see this scene. Moonman is the first one talking regularly.
Do we have a inspiration for the scene?
Yes, I get. I mean, I think these phrases were enough, but sure. The inspiration for your scene going in through our chat is toast. Toast.
I hate these hotel conveyor belt toasters. It never gets anything right.
Pump it up.
I don't think that's how you do it.
No, they tore the knobs off. There's nothing I can do. Unless we take it apart.
Well, I don't think that's how you do it.
Yeah, I've only electrocuted myself once or twice.
I couldn't laugh harder.
Well, I mean, it'd be better if you didn't laugh at me while I'm dying, but you know.
I taste blood.
Laugh harder.
Yeah. It's not speeding my toast up any, though.
Pump it up.
I don't think that's how you do it.
Hand me your lighter. We'll do the concert toast method. And now
I taste blood.
I couldn't laugh harder.
Yeah. I need
Fraiche the record. Hand rations has the talking.
Well, I think all this fire might actually lead you to a burnt toast territory, so you should maybe announce that so people know they're not having a stroke.
I don't think that's how you do it.
What comes around goes around.
Look, I don't think that anybody should think that they're having a stroke and just have us burning all the toast in this hotel.
I taste blood.
Okay, maybe something is wrong there, but, like, let's get the toast first before we go to the hospital.
I don't think that's how you do it.
Like, we've been waiting for the toast longer than we've been waiting on your issues, so, come on, just a couple more minutes here.
I taste blood.
Fine. Well, here's a piece of burnt toast, just shove it in your mouth, and maybe that'll stop the bleeding.
Comes around goes around.
And, fine, here's a piece of toast for you, too, so everyone's equal, I can just wait on the third one.
That's great.
Fraiche the record. Riggy.
Ah. Oh, I'm not bleeding. There was bacon on my toast. I'm not used to eating that much iron.
Couldn't laugh harder.
I'm sorry. Do one of you work here?
Wow, that's great.
Okay, I did not mean any sort of implication on my part that you're dressed like a manager of a hotel, but to be fair, you are wearing "Welcome to Hilton" on your shirt there. So,
What
Pump it up.
comes around goes around.
oh, for sure, what goes around comes around, and I think that you have been sabotaging the toast machine.
Wow, that's great.
I couldn't laugh harder.
You stay out of this. It's between me and this guy, Mr. Hilton.
Wow, that's great.
I bet that's great. Yeah, I bet you wouldn't mind a little bit of butter on that nice shirt of yours, eh? How about that?
What comes around goes around.
Oh, hey now.
Fraiche the record. Moon.
You ruined my only shirt.
That's not how you do it.
See how you feel getting some burnt bagels thrown at
Oh,
you.
I taste blood. I taste blood.
Here's
I
some
couldn't
jam
laugh
to go with it.
harder.
Fraiche the record. Hand rations.
Jesus Christ, guys. We're making a scene in the middle of the continental breakfast. Is this really where we want to take a scene? Take it outside.
That's not how we do it. You do it.
That's great.
I don't care how you do these types of fights where you're from. In this Hilton, we take it outside.
I taste blood.
Oh, what comes around goes around.
Fraiche the record. Riggy.
It's over. This isn't the first hotel I've been kicked out of. And I'm ready to go back to the Super 8.
Oh,
I
wow,
couldn't
that's
laugh
great.
harder.
It's time to throw fists. Let me strap some bagels to the front. You went in on beating up the Hilton, man?
Pump it up.
Pump it up.
Scene. Nice job. Nice job.
This is why I skipped the continental breakfast.
Yeah, right. I mean, this crap happens all the time. It's true. It's true. All right.
It's always a
Our
kid.
next-
Sneezing on the waffles.
Yeah, that's not good. That's why you make your own waffles and you
In
get
your
own
room?
little cup. Well, no, but
Bring the waffle maker back to your room.
well, you don't do that. Yeah, and you grab the whole vat with all the waffle.
Why do you think
cloths?
I got kicked out of the Super 8?
Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. That tracks. Our next game is going to be called Party Quirks, and this is a game where Riggy's going to host an epic party with 3 excellent guests. The guests will be Hand Rations, Joe Lobb, and the Moonman. But each of these guests is going to be a little bit quirky, and you'll notice Riggy took his headset off so he can't hear us. And so in the chat, we need you to tell us things that someone could be afraid of, things that someone could be obsessed with, or things that someone could be turning into. And we'll assign each party guest one of those things, and Riggy will have to figure out from his interactions what's going on with his odd guests. So start populating the chat with that, and we'll do that. And Joe Lobb, we need you, sir, for a moment.
Ready?
Come on.
Don't be shy, Joe Lobb.
Okie dokie. There I are.
All right, good. All right, let's see what we are getting here in the stream. Oh, I'm going to just pitch this one out, and whoever would like it can have it. So the first one is an obsession. Obsessed with garden gnomes. Anybody want obsessed with garden gnomes? Okay, Moon. That's okay. Moon is obsessed with garden gnomes. Second one we have is afraid of snowflakes. Anyone want that one? Okay, Joe Lobb. Afraid of snowflakes, and let's see if we can get a turning into. Oh, I've got to do this one. This will do a callback. Hand Rations, you're turning into a traveling vacuum salesperson.
Okay.
Let's do that. Okay, let me give Riggy the signs that the party can start, and let me get out of here.
I'm back. Everybody in the audience, you can hear me, but the cast can't. So we're gonna have a secret conversation. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna put myself back into the
Can't
cast.
hear you.
I know you can't, but the cast can. The audience can. Hello, my kitchen. Oh boy, kitchen. We're gonna have the best chips and dips party I've ever had. Okay, first bite. Okay. Hopefully the other 17 chips and dips will round this party out, because this one's a little disappointing. Or maybe my guests will have brought some. It was a pick and share. Who am I talking to? I've definitely lost a sense of self here. Okay. Wow, little another dip here. Another chip. I guess I asked.
Knock.
Oh, perfect timing. I just finished a chip. Hello.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me into your home.
I'm so glad to have you into my home. Did you happen to bring a chip and or dip?
Oh, I didn't bring any chips or dip. I just think they're a bit too messy.
Oh, okay. No problem. I've got plenty around here. Come on in. Everything's on the table. We've got it ranging based off the colors of the American flag. Don't ask me how I got the guac blue.
Very excited to try it out.
Yeah. So, did you have any trouble finding the place?
No, I've been door to door in this neighborhood a couple of times, just trying to find my real calling.
Oh, exciting. Yes, we have a very lovely neighborhood. Did you ever get to enjoy a little trunk or treat while you're out there?
No, I'm pretty new to the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Ding dong.
Oh, you enjoy your chips and dips. I'll be right back.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really, really happy, and I'm so pleased you decided to have this party at the beginning of summer. So nice to walk without, well, you know. And I did bring a chip. It's a Dorito chip, and I brought a dip, scorpion pepper. Now, how are you going to fit orange into? Oh, it looks like you've got a flag here.
I do. That's okay. Here's the thing. We can start another flag over here. Orange is close enough to red. If we just put it above the table, I'm a little colorblind. It'll look like a Canadian flag eventually.
My thinking exactly.
Great. So, did you find the place okay?
I found it just fine, thank you. Nothing to block my sight and get in my eyes, and pretty much from October to March, I don't go out much, and it's really good to socialize every once in a while. So thank you for having this party.
Oh, I'm so grateful that you brought these really.
Oh,
Oh,
be careful! Yeah, scorpion pepper is pretty strong stuff.
that's hot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a winter storm. I'll tell you right now to clear this out.
Knock, knock.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta get that. Hey.
Oh, hey. I didn't realize the party was in here too. I was out hanging out in the front garden.
Oh. Yeah.
All right,
Come on in. Oh, there you are. Whew, I thought you were a
off
ghost.
the camouflage. I got a lot of I got a lot of the grass and flowers on me. I just kind of blended in. Sorry.
You do smell a bit like dirt.
And you're tracking all of it in here, but I think I might have a solution to this problem. See, I just have all this merchandise here. I think that we can take care of the mess right away, but of course you'll have to, give me a couple of payments first. Do you want a demonstration?
I have a feeling that regardless of what I say, it's going to happen.
Okay, so this product really sucks, right? So
Yep.
I'm just going to, I think it's my real calling, just being able to just push this product in your home.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I thought when I invited you, I know you're new to the neighborhood, I did not think that I was inviting someone who is turning into a door-to-door salesman. Vacuum salesman, specifically.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know it puts people off. I think I'll just be heading out now, but if I could just leave the vacuum with you and
No.
just, take all of your spare change, then...
Please don't.
It's my honor.
Enjoy the
She did-
sunshine.
She didn't even bring a chip.
Well, yeah.
Why is everyone in here so tall? And there's not an impressive beard among you.
If I would say, I have eaten very healthy my whole life. So much dip is really good for bone structure.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. Did you happen to bring a chip or a dip?
I left everything in the front garden with your other guests.
Oh,
They
okay.
seemed like a bunch of great guys.
Yeah, I think my assortment of lawn gnomes are lovely guys, and that you may be obsessed with them.
Huh. I mean, that's a little condescending. That's it. My husband and I are leaving.
Ding, 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 ding.
Huh.
Well, gosh, do you have more people coming? I mean, it's such a beautiful day. It's got to be 75 degrees out there. Who could
Yeah.
resist?
It's a very nice, warm, sunny day, and I'm so glad to be here with you, my one friend from the neighborhood who is afraid of snow.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I'll be your friend until about October, and then I kind of have to hibernate. But
Oh no. November 1st has rolled around.
oh, I gotta run back home. Great party, thank you. See you in March.
Ding, ding, ding.
I guess I should change my clock back. Wait, it's happened in October or November? Oh well, I already said November, so.
And scene.
One more hour of chip and dip.
Good guesswork there, Rigamarole. Good guesswork. All right. It is time now to play a game called Would I Lie to You? And this will be a game for Rigamarole and Hand Rations, who will be giving us each a story about, something of your choice. I put that in the chat. Let's see what we have. So basically, I put it in, no one saw it. Okay, if you're watching us now, put in the chat something you would like to hear these two flops tell you a story about. Now, their story could be a true story. Their story could be a fake story, and that's okay. The goal of you, our audience, and the rest of the cast is to try and ferret out, are they lying or are they truthin'? And they will get a point for each one of us they fool, as well as a bonus point for whoever got voted the best story. Now, to make the game a little more interesting, one of the flops, and I'm going to say Joe Lobb this time, after we've heard both stories, will serve as the Inquisitor, and the Inquisitor gets to ask each storyteller one question to try and help us figure it out. All right. So, our story tonight, or that we would want to hear about, this is interesting in the context of this game, but I like the suggestion. The suggestion from O-Ring is story about how the dinosaurs went extinct.
How can we tell you the truth?
I know. So instead, I just had to share that because I liked it. And it's O-Ring, you know?
There was a meteor, okay? And it hit the Earth. I was there.
I was there. I saw it. I time traveled. Okay, so this one will be easier to do in the context of this game. A story about candy. Your best story about candy. And you can take that really wherever you want. And I'll give you just a few seconds to contemplate, and then we're going to start with hand rations, I think. Unless Riggy, you're
No, that's
jonesing
fine.
to do your candy story.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, hand rations. We would like to hear your best story about candy.
So I'm about to go into my 3rd year at college. And after living in the dorms for 2 years, I think I've gotten accustomed to having a roommate and all of the dynamics that can bring. However, that doesn't mean that I am perfectly accustomed to all of the holidays that go on during college, where I have to share the same space as a roommate. One example is I am very into Halloween. Halloween's actually my birthday. And so I get very into Halloween decorations, Halloween candy, all that kind of thing. My roommate, however, is not as much of a Halloween fan as I am. She's more of a Christmas fan, which, like, you know, I respect. But, you know, sometimes you just want to get a bit spooky and a bit sweet. But, what really happened last October, around Halloween, was I got this huge thing of candy corn, and I was like, I'm never going to be able to eat all of this myself. So I said, hey, if you want to get some of the candy corn, then you can borrow it, and just, like, let's share this. Look, we're in the same space, we're going to be communal with our candy corn. She took this to mean all of the candy corn was for her. And, you know, I know that people are like, oh, well, candy corn, it's the worst candy, you shouldn't be territorial over it. But, you know, I kind of was. And, you know, it's not about me, but, like, also Halloween is my birthday, and I'm the one who bought the candy corn. So, you know, I think that I deserve custody of the candied corns here. What I didn't know is apparently she did not eat all of the candy corn for herself. She ate a couple of handfuls of it and then knocked the candy corn bowl over and just kind of swept all of it up, but she didn't get all of it. So not only did I find the candy corn in the trash, I found it behind all of that weird blonde furniture that the school makes you, like, use because you can't bring your own furniture. Like, the kind of aesthetic that every single college dorm has. Picture that, but with candy corn and all of the little dusty places. And that's what made me realize we need to get our own vacuum for the dorm. And thankfully, thanks to the flops, I've now realized my calling as a door-to-door vacuum salesman, so maybe I'll get that next Halloween.
Okay. Thank you, Hand Rations, for that intriguing story. And for bringing candy corn into the show. You know, it's an underrated candy, I think. So I appreciate
You
that.
put 2 of it on there like thanks.
Right, exactly. And who wouldn't want to do that? So, well, we have another story to hear. So let's now hear Rigarole's best story about candy.
My best friend in college does not like sweets. Doesn't like sweets at all. Doesn't like candy. Doesn't like desserts. With the exception of 2 things. Fudgy the Whale and Krispy Kreme donuts. So I went and visited him in North Carolina, and this was probably about 2018 thereabouts, at the Krispy Kreme. Well, he didn't work at the Krispy Kreme. We went to the Krispy Kreme. He lives in North Carolina. He works at a university, but the light was on at the Krispy Kreme, and we're going to the Krispy Kreme because the light's on. We go on in, and we're sitting there, we're waiting for the donuts. Yeah, everyone knows what the lights on means, right? It means the beautiful Krispy Kreme donuts are rolling down the track. They're getting dipped in the sugar, etc., etc. They're fresh donuts. That's what you want. When the light's on, you gotta go. New York State killed Krispy Kreme. Justice for Rochester, New York. Okay, so, sorry, back to the story. Anyways, the folks are behind the counter, and they're moving along. And if you know that at Krispy Kreme, they have the hats. You can put the little white hats on your head. Now, my friend got the little white hat on, and he noticed that he happened to be wearing the same outfit as, not the same outfit, he's wearing a polo that looked like the outfits of the people that worked at the Krispy Kreme. And it didn't look exactly all that well. But, you know, they're distracted. They're getting the donuts off the rack and into the sugar. And he's like, well, you know, I could just go back there. So I would never approve of this, by the way. That doesn't mean it's not funny. But he sneaks off and he goes behind the counter at the Krispy Kreme and puts on a pair of gloves, and he just stands there, not sure what to do, but he stands back there. He just walks around. He like starts moving stuff on the shelf. And before he got caught, I was at the register at this point, and I see him back there moving the stuff around. He stole a donut. I didn't approve. He stole a donut, and now if anybody knows who I'm talking about, they're gonna be after him. So he snatches a donut. He comes out. I bought my donuts, and I would never have taken a donut the way he took a donut. And that was basically it. He grabbed a donut, and he headed off, and got out and walked outside, and he was on a smoke break for the next 15 minutes and headed back in and did his full shift. No, I'm just kidding. He left with a donut, and I left with my donuts, and he got one less donut than I did because I feel like that was justice.
Okay, interesting stories. So let's get everybody on the screen, all cast, and so cast, you're going to need to think a little bit about who might be lying and who might be truthing. They both could be lying or truthing, and audience, same for you. But before we weigh in on that, we're going to turn over to our Grand Inquisitor Joe Lobb, who will probe their stories.
Yes. First of all, hand rations. Without looking, what are the 3 colors on candy corn in descending order?
So, is the tip the top?
No, the tip is the bottom. You start with the
Start with the biggest slice.
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes yellow, and then orange, and then white.
Noted.
Okay.
But sometimes you get defective candy corn where one of the colors is missing, and you get like a big blob of yellow or a big blob
That's
of
true.
Those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Don't
Okay.
ask me why, I have no idea.
Okay.
All right. Rigamarole.
That's me.
How many policemen were in the Krispy Kreme, and if so, what did they eat?
See, you're thinking that cops only eat donuts, right? There were no cops at the Krispy Kreme at that time, unfortunately, or else they would have arrested him for Grand Theft Donut.
Okay.
Or
Noted.
Grand Icer. Okay, give me time. I'll come up with a better one for that. Grand Icerny.
Yes. I see where you're trying to go with that. Let it percolate. Okay. So this is the portion of our program. First, we'll ask everyone, audience and cast, who we think had the better story. So, audience, start populating the chat with which flop you think had the better story of the two, whether you think they were telling the truth or not. And while you do that, I will first ask the Moonman. Moonman, who do you think tonight had the superior story?
I liked the flow of Riggy's story.
Okay. And how about Joe Lobb? What do you think? Who did you think had the better story?
Yeah, being larcenous at heart myself, I enjoyed the story of a successful heist.
We're gonna have to cut this part. We're gonna have to edit the episode, everybody, because Joe Lobb's committing crimes.
Only by my say-so. It's hearsay.
Yep. Evelyn, what do you think? Who had the better story?
I think Riggy had the better story.
Okay.
I like an undercover guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hate to say it, Hand Rations, but I too thought Riggy had the more compelling story. It was intricate. It could be complete BS, but
I bet he's still got the hat too. I should ask him to send me a picture of him wearing the hat.
That could be true.
If I went second, I would have been able to come up with a better story. But you put me on the spot.
Well, that's how it works. Okay, and I'm going to take this one as a vote for Hand Rations from our audience. So our bonus point tonight goes to Rigamarole. But that doesn't mean Riggy wins just yet, because we have to get now to see if we can fool people. You get a point for each person you fool. So audience, put in who you think was lying and who you think was truthing. And while you're doing that, I'm going to ask Evelyn. Evelyn, let's start with Rigamarole first. Evelyn, was Rigamarole telling the truth, or was Rigamarole fibbing?
No, he was fibbing.
Okay.
He's a huge fat liar.
Okay. All right, Joe Lobb, Rigamarole, fibbing or telling the truth?
I was willing to believe him until he laughed a wee bit too long at an event that happened so long ago. I could use overselling it. So I think he was lying.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Riggy's either going to go down in flames or he's going to go win big. Moonman, what do you think? Riggy, telling the truth or fibbing?
I want it to be true, so I am going to say it was true.
Okay, this one for truth. I have to say, I also want it to be true. I thought, unlike Joe Lobb, I thought the laughter seemed like one of those moments where you're remembering something that was so freaking funny that you're just in that moment again, happy to remember it. I was starting to lean away when he went behind and ate a donut, but we've all had those nights in college, so I'm going to lean with Riggy on this and say Riggy is telling the truth. Don't reveal yet, Rig.
Do I get to vote?
No, you're a participant.
I still want to know. What you
but
think,
we want
though.
to know. We want to know.
Okay.
What do you think? Line his ass off? Or
I think either it's true or it's a lie that you've told this exact story before. Because it didn't feel like you were trying to make things up on the spot. It felt like whenever there was a hesitation, it was like grabbing an actual thing that was part of the story. So either that means it happened and you were recalling actual things, or this is identical to a lie that you've already told and you were just remembering how the story goes.
Okay.
I think it's more likely for it to be true, though.
So either way, good story, right? Good story. Either way, yeah. Okay, and all right. So now let's explore Hand Rations' story. Moonman, what do you think? Hand Rations lying or truthin'?
Well, I mean, it was kind of a roller coaster ride here, because at first I thought it was a lie, because there's no way anyone would throw such a great roommate under the bus. But then we got a little more clarity, so I started thinking it was true. And then at the very end, finding a true calling as a traveling vacuum cleaner salesman, well, that part clearly is a lie. So the story up until the vacuum cleaner part, I say true.
Oh, so you're gonna go with, so you think the vacuum cleaner was just an embellishment for callback purposes?
Yes.
Okay, but otherwise the story's true. Okay, all right. Joe Lobb, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm sort of with Moonman on this. I enjoyed the evocation of the college spirit. Took me back many years, more than you want to know. That kind of thing does happen between roommates. and I really like the detail of the grunge that happens to appear in college dorms, and I could see the candy corn being swept into it. But then again, you're not a vacuum cleaner salesperson. So sorry.
Not yet.
Aspiring.
Yeah.
So do you lean toward truth or lie?
Well, the end gave it away. I'd have to say lie.
I'm gonna go with fibbing. Okay. Evelyn, what do you think?
I'd say this is a lie.
Yeah?
Hand Rations has not even given me anything, let alone asked for something, or given me something with the expectation of money. She's not a. She does not sell anything. Also, candy corn is the worst candy.
Oh,
And
we're in trouble.
You even being in the presence of it, lights up an alert in my mind that you are spreading falsehoods instead of dictating the truth.
Evelyn.
Wow.
Evelyn. Candy corn is a sponsor.
What are you doing?
Sorry, cut that. Cut it.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post. All right. So obviously the salesperson part at the end was an embellishment or future projection, could be. I don't want to piss on anybody's dreams, but I kind of feel like, sorry, Hand Rations, I think you were lying your butt off on this one. I know. And here's why. Most of us here have gone to college, and we know college students never vacuum their rooms. That doesn't happen, right? So even that a vacuum would appear in this story just screams falsehood. So I'm sorry, but I have to say you're fibbing.
I would also like to say fibbing. You and your roommate went back there after you discovered it and ate every single piece of candy corn from behind the couch.
30-second rule, right? 30-minute rule. Yeah. Totally.
No, it's an easy, convenient place to store your snacks.
Oh. I
Give you that
consider
quick energy for the day. Reach behind the couch.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
Bold of you to assume that we had a couch.
You didn't have a couch.
Yeah.
I know you didn't have a couch.
No. Wasn't even barely a futon. So, all right, it's time for the moment of reveal. Rigamarole, was your story true or not?
While my friend did have a penchant for going behind counters and pretending to work at places, and the story was not about candy but was about donuts, it is a lie.
Okay. Rigamarole, a big fibber. But Rigamarole did fool two of us, earning 2 points plus a bonus point. So Rigamarole right now has a score of 3, meaning Hand Rations. Well, the best outcome Hand Rations can achieve is a tie, right? If Hand Rations was telling the truth and tricked 3 of us, Hand Rations will also have 3 points. But let's find out. Hand Rations, were you fibbing or truthing?
It was a lie.
Oh.
You ate the candy, didn't you? I knew it.
Yeah. Hand Rations achieves the score of 1. Therefore, Rigamarole is tonight's winner of Would I Lie to You, with a very intricate, very truth-sounding fib.
Well, that's because that man that I was lying about did some wild things.
So when you I have to ask, when you laughed, were you like remembering one of those things, or was that all just part of the ruse?
I was deciding whether or not to make him a criminal.
Okay. Nice.
He is a criminal.
Nice.
You know what
Oh,
you did.
yeah. Stealing, going behind the counter. That's not okay. All right, that brings us to our final game of the first set. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll just play through tonight. We'll see. But this game is called Cult Leader. And this is going to be. Oh, I need to cast somebody in here. Yes, I do. I missed one. All right, so Riggy will host this and explain in a moment. And the 2 people that will be recruiting us are Joe Lobb and how about Hand Rations?
Yeah, come on. You gotta kick him to the curb. Kick her to the curb. Come on.
And the rest of us will.
I have not gone off screen for more than like 2 minutes this time. But keep me in Cult Leader. I enjoy Cult
Yeah,
Leader.
no, that's what I meant. Cult leader is your favorite one. We're not leaving you out of cult leader.
Yeah, no, we won't do that. So the rest of us will go off screen, and Ricky will guide us in this adventure.
All right, everybody, if you're in the chat, or you're feeling like you're in the chat, please type responses to the things I'm saying. I'm going to say some things, and you're just going to write what you're thinking in the chat. And I'll try to be fast, and you try to be fast. Everybody here who's in the flops, you can feel free to do it on the YouTube video, or you can do it in the chat here. And basically what's going to happen is these people are going to get some inspiration from you about creating a cult, a belief system. What that belief system entails, well, that's all coming from you. It may be something wild, it may be something completely normal. But we're going to start off. I want you to reply to the things I'm saying, the word association game. What's the first thing you think of when you think of the word apocalypse, please? And since I had my eyes closed when I said the word apocalypse, what about darkness? What's the first thing that you think of when I say darkness? If you have a favorite thing that you eat for breakfast that isn't breakfast, so like, yeah, we got a leftover pizza. What's that? Put that in the chat. I'd love to know. Hey, Evelyn. What did you do last weekend?
Good question. I just rang my bell. Sorry. I watched television.
What'd you watch?
Moral Oral.
Moral
That's a great
Oral.
show.
I don't think I've seen. What's the brief synopsis? 2 sentences.
A very well-meaning religious kid. Misinterprets Christianity.
Is it violent?
Yes.
Is he violent?
Comedy ensues.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Evelyn. I appreciate it. Let's see. Everybody in the chat, let's see what you feel like when I say the word decay. Decay is a good one. Everyone's favorite mode of transportation that is not feet. All right, so I'm getting things in here.
I love seeing the ones in the chat on a slight delay from the prompts that you're giving right now. Like, for example, right after you said what you had for breakfast, I saw Simon and Garfunkel pop up, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
You know, Simon and Garfunkel and Oates. There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe Lobb, have you ever heard or seen Moral Oral?
I have never heard of it until.
Great. Moral Oral is one of yours. Thank you very much. Figure out what it means. One for you, Hand Rations. You got leftover pizza. I also like eating leftover pizza, unless you thought that's what apocalypse was.
Excellent breakfast food.
Joe Lobb, you can have corpse. Corpse is that one's creepy. I think that was from the Moonman. Hand Rations. George Takei. Let's see. And Joe Lobb, last one for you. You've got ATV. And how about just what are the 2 that I gave you, Hand Rations?
You gave me leftover pizza and George Takei.
Great.
Although there were some on the list that I thought were kind of interesting.
What,
so.
what do you want? Tell me what you want.
I'm thinking either Pale Horse or Fallout or both.
Take Pale Horse, use Fallout. You can use extra ones all you want. Go ahead.
Okay.
But the 3 you have to incorporate. Joe Lobb, any of the ones that are driving you nuts that you really want?
Being technologically challenged, I have not seen the chat from the audience. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Perfect. Joe Lobb, list yours off for me.
Moral Oral, corpses, and ATVs.
Cool. Hand Rations?
Leftover pizza, George Takei, Pale Horse, and also Fallout.
Sure. Sounds good. So, how the game's going to work, each of them is going to have a round where they introduce their family to you. And then you will have a chance in the chat to ask them questions while they're saying, feel free to write that, because you guys come in later than we do. Feel free to write your questions in the chat before we get to it, and we can answer them. After that, everybody will vote. So if you've made up your mind at any point, go ahead, put it in the chat with big old bold letters. I'm joining this cult. You don't have to write that whole thing out. That's long. But we're going to get started here. Off the bat, curtain comes up. Boom. Hey everybody, welcome to the 45th biannual family convention. I'm here with two of the top contenders for this year's All Family Award. That's right, these two here are competing to have the highest number of family members in Tompkins County. Let's give them a quick round of applause, everybody. Yep. Yeah, I'd love to hear from each of you. Just right off the bat, as you're introducing yourself, please tell us how many members you have, okay? So first, we're going to start off to my right here. You got a sour look on your face. Let's start off with you. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Me?
That would be you, yep.
Okay. Hi, my name's Madge. My family currently has 2 members.
Okay.
But we're looking to grow, and I think we have a lot of potential here. So basically, my family is organized around the principles of, do y'all here remember the Brony fandom? The adult male fans of My Little Pony and all that kind of thing? Well, sadly, the Brony fandom has gone way too soon because the show ended and people just aren't making the jump to the next generation. I don't know why. But, you know, I think that those horses definitely have a lot to teach us, especially those of us that are a bit pale because we don't really go outside that much. So I started looking into the teachings of the most famous My Little Pony fan fiction ever, Fallout Equestria. It takes place in the Fallout universe, but it's ponies during the apocalypse. And I was eating my leftover pizza one day, and I was like, you know what? I think this is the life to lead. I think if those pale ponies can just go out into the world and survive the apocalypse, then, like, what's keeping me from living my life and from surviving this apocalypse? So I drafted up a little contract just to make sure that people are really into the Fallout Equestria type thing. And I took it to a different convention, because of course all the Brony cons are shut down because of pandemic and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I took it to another sci-fi convention, and I heard George Takei was signing autographs, so I put it in front of him. So now we have a celebrity guest in my family, George Takei. I don't know if he read the thing, but honestly, I hope he didn't, because really, I can't be as great of a writer as the Fallout Equestria guy. Like, are you kidding?
That's terrific. Brony for life, all the way. Boom. Yeah, okay, thank you, Mag. Over to my beneath. Please, take it away.
Well, thank you. Fred Ferbley here. And first of all, I'm grateful for you for not using the C word. You know, the one that begins with C and ends with T, that we never ever say in our family. Well, we have got a great pole star to follow, because when you think of morality and you think of someone named Oral, who could it possibly be but Oral Roberts? Now, he was a bit of a whack job, and we take that into full account, and we honor him by mocking him. You know, his tales of his 900-foot Jesus that he saw, that's just crazy talk. So what we do, and this is a funny coincidence, his birthday is actually April 1st. So that tells you something about the guy right there. What we do is we, in his honor, at midnight, race ATMs, around the desert. And the object is not to become a corpse. And to make this a little more challenging, we knock out all the headlights and taillights on these machines. So they go tearing off into the desert, and most years we don't get too many corpses. I think 2 years ago we had 0, which was kind of nice. And this is all done in the spirit of mockery and fun, and we just have a great good old time. And while I'm here, let me say, Ms. Madge, there's probably a reason why your family has only 2 members. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Fred. I have to ask, how many members did you say you had, Fred?
I didn't say, but it's in the high 3 digits.
High 3 digits. Okay, terrific. So we're going to open the floor to questions now, because we would never stick you with a whole life of beliefs just because yeah, without asking questions. Oh, that would be just wild. So we're gonna ask some questions. And I have one from the chat first, from our home audience, and then I'll open the floor to everybody else. How does your family celebrate, or do they celebrate, Father's Day? And we're gonna let Fred go first. So Fred, let's hear what you have to say.
Well, you know that Oral Roberts, the nut job, had a son who is also a nut job. And we've actually gotten him to come and speak to us a few times. You know, there are years when he has other engagements somewhere else. But it's really great to hear his take on his old man. And after he spoke, everybody was just so grateful that their father was nothing like Oral Roberts Sr. It's a wonderful feeling. It's a real rush.
Terrific. Madge?
Yeah, so, in the Brony fandom, there were a lot of dads there. So if you're celebrating Father's Day, then it just gets way too expensive. But thankfully, in the world of Fallout Equestria, the most famous My Little Pony fanfiction that takes place during the apocalypse, actually Father's Day is no longer a thing because, you know, these ponies are just hunting for food and trying to stay alive. So really, it just takes all the pressure off of trying to, like, get your dad a gift and all that kind of thing. However, in this family, since George Takai is our first male member and the only other member besides me, I kind of think of him as the father of our family. So if you want to send George Takai a Father's Day card thanking him for joining our Fallout Equestria family, I'm sure that he would appreciate it.
I'll put it on my things to do this Sunday for Father's Day. Thank you, Mag, for that. So now let's open the floor to questions from our studio audience here. Does anyone here in our studio audience have any questions?
I have a question.
So I've got one here on screen. I'll take yours in just a moment. So here on screen, go ahead, sir.
Oh, me?
Yeah, that's you. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm intrigued by the inclusion of corpses. I'd like to hear both families talk a little more about the role of corpses in their family. I come from a long line of undertakers, so it's definitely of interest to me.
Terrific. Yeah, let's start with Mag on that, Madge. On that one, go ahead, Madge.
Okay. Well, as you know, corpse rhymes with horse. So a corpse is a horse, of course, etc.
Yep.
So, and especially, like, Fallout Equestria really teaches us how to deal with death. And when I was eating my leftover pizza, still hungover from the night before, I was like, you know, I feel like death right now. And in a way, that makes death a lot less scary. Because, you know, these ponies have been through so much that, like, what's stopping me from just going out and enjoying the time that I have, even if I have a terrible headache and I just need to call in sick to work just to watch TV all day. So really, the way that our family deals with, like, death and corpses and all that kind of stuff is we honor them, and we're thankful that every pony gets a chance to have success.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fred.
Thank you.
Yes, well, we also honor the corpses that should happen during our midnight ATV ramble. What we do is we dig a pit 8 feet deep, and we put the machine that this person crashed or otherwise had a mishap on in the bottom, and then we attach the body to it, sitting up, hands on the handlebars, and then we fill it all in with dirt, and we think highly of these sites. You know, we put up a small marker just so nobody treads on them, and every so often someone will feel contemplative and go out and wander through our graveyard of sitting up on machines' corpses, and there's been some real spiritual growth and insight from those visits. So corpses have an honored place in our family.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
All right, we have time for one more question. I believe there was a young lady in the audience. Yes, you there.
Yes. So I have a question for, what was your name, Smidge?
Madge.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I was just, like, wondering if you and George Takei are so into My Little Pony and Equestria Fallout, what is your cutie mark, and what is George Takei's cutie mark?
Yes, we'll see. My cutie mark would probably be slightly moldy leftover pizza, because that's what I was eating when I came to this spiritual revelation. And I really think that it would be something to commemorate that and to commemorate me finding my purpose. For George Takei, I think that his cutie mark would almost definitely be his own autograph, which might sound conceited, but really it's the thing that expressed his crossing over into our family. And I think that being commemorated would be a very special thing, especially during the apocalypse when you're really only being able to identify each other via cutie mark.
Thank you so much.
Hand it over to Fred. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You had a follow-up?
I was just going to say that I have also the same cutie mark as George Takei.
Wow.
Cool.
He's so down to earth, isn't he? George Takei. What a guy. And down to you, Fred, to follow up. Do you mark your members to distinguish them from each other?
Well, no, we don't. We don't have to make a conscious effort to do such things as cutie marks. The people who almost become corpses have some very interesting scar patterns. I mean, I would love it if there were light and someone could film these collisions, because you get all sorts of twisted metal flying through the air, and when it hits flesh, it carves some very interesting scars. Sometimes the whole year afterwards, people will brag about how their scar is better and more complex than anybody else's scar. But it doesn't happen consciously, it's just by accident, literally by accident.
Very intriguing. Thank you very much, Fred. So I'm going to ask the audience at home here, that's watching at home, to pick which family you plan on joining. While I ask just one more brief question of them. I guess as a guy who is often mistaken for John Lennon, people want to say, hey, could you be the leader of our cult and be the voice of God? And I'm wondering, for your families, are you the voice of God or some deity, or are you a deity yourself? Just a quick explanation, and going over to you first, Madge.
I believe that every pony is a vessel for some deity, because friendship is magic and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of who my family worships and all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't say, I'd say I'm a prophet, but I wouldn't say that I am a deity myself. The deity is the person who, of course, wrote Fallout Equestria, the longest brony fan fiction ever made.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Fred, deification?
Well, I certainly don't claim to be a deity. I think Oral Roberts Sr. retired the cup for absurdity, and since mockery is such a big part of our ceremonies, who am I to step into his shoes? No, we just acknowledge him as a more evolved human, let's say, but definitely not a deity.
Okay, terrific. Thank you both very much for answering that. We're going to turn it over to our in-house audience. Why don't you come on screen here, and I'll ask you quickly, who are you going home with forever? I want to see... we're missing a person, but that's okay. I want to see by a show of hands, who is a brony for life? 1 vote for brony for life. Who is going ATV riding in the desert with this fellow over here? Okay, we got 1 vote.
Hell yes.
All right, and I'm going into the chat here because now we're tied. And I have, no surprise there. The individual who asked, how do you celebrate Father's Day? Joe, thank you, Joe, for asking your question and also giving the prompt ATV. Has decided to go ATV riding and avoid being a corpse. So, congratulations to you, Fred. You're over here. Congratulations, Fred. You are the #1 cult in Tompkins County. Well,
it was nothing, really.
Come back next year when we are not only going to decide the legacy of every cult that has ever existed in Tompkins County. We're going to throw them all together in a big old pit, and we're going to ask them each to write trivia questions about faith, and we're going to see whether or not any of them agree. And if they do agree, then we know that one is right, and we're going to start a new cult all about that. one
That
answer.
word.
Thank you very much. I've been a guy who gets mistaken for the reincarnation of John Lennon. Good night.
And that's cult leader. Thank you, Rigamarole. Great job. Great job to our cultists, I'll say. Family leaders. Family leaders. House parents. I don't know.
Happy
Pick your pick.
Family is the alternate name
Family.
of that
Yeah.
of that game. Happy Family.
Nice. It's like something on a menu. So, that brings us to what we call halftime, but I think I'm kind of feeling like power through tonight. You know?
Let's just end the show here. Wow, we're done. That's it. Goodbye. End the show.
Goodbye, thank you!
All right.
So I've scrambled up the second set a little bit. Guess I realized I skipped right over my vacation whip. We'll do that in the second set here. But let's start off first with a game called 186. This is a game for the entire cast, of course. And this game is where we're going to get everyday objects from you, and we're going to make a stock joke around them. The joke goes like this. 186 blanks walk into a bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve blanks here." And the blanks say, and that's where we'll make up the punchline. So what we need you to do right now is in the chat, just give us everyday objects that we might encounter in our lives.
While you're doing that, I have to ask, Moonman,
Yeah.
snap judgment, ATVs or My Little Pony?
I'm thinking the ATVs.
Bummer.
answer.
Bronies for life, man. Bronies for life.
Bronies
And
for
fun
life.
fact, Fallout Equestria is real, and apparently they sold multiple volumes of like
No way.
bound editions of the books that got so long.
Oh my god.
I've never read it. I've just heard about it.
Yeah, okay.
The legend suggests. All right, so while we're doing that, we do have some things I can pull right from our last game, and I'm going to do just that. So we're going to start with 186 corpses. 186 corpses. 186 corpses walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "We don't serve corpses here." And the corpses say, "Come on, man. We're just dead on our feet." Jalab.
186 corpses walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "We don't serve corpses here." And the corpses say, "Oh, come on. We really want to get pickled."
Moonman.
186 corpses walk into a bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve corpses here." The corpses say, come on, we're bored stiff."
Riggy.
186 corpses walk into a bar. The bartender says, "We don't serve corpses here." And the corpses say, quit rattling my bones, deadbeat.
It was a double. 186 corpses walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "We don't serve corpses here." And the corpses say, "Is it because we brought our own beer?" Think about that. Hand rations.
186 corpses walk into the bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve corpses here." Corpses say, "Come on, we're just looking for somebody to love."
Rigamarole.
186 corpses walk into the bar. The bartender says, "We don't serve corpses here. You ain't fooling me." And the corpses come up and they go, "Here's my ID. I promise I'm not a kid who has dug up a body and has incorporated it into this disguise so that I can have drinks."
186 corpses walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "No, we don't serve corpses here." And the corpses say, "Come on, let us have some drinks so we can stop this coughing."
Moonman.
185 corpses walk into the bar. Oh, wait, that one's not dead.
Rigamarole.
186 corpses walk into the bar. The bartender says, "We don't serve corpses here." And the corpses say, it's going to take a little bit of imagination. So, 186 corpses walk into the bar. The bartender says, "We don't serve corpses." And the corpses say,
Yep. I'm seeing it.
his jaw fell off.
Yeah,
His
that's
jaw.
good.
I
That's
can't
good.
actually take my jaw off, but his jaw fell off.
Could if you wanted to commit to the band.
Yeah, I know. Your commitment's really lagging these days. There was a time when a flop would take their jaw off and not even think about it.
Imagine if I had been hiding that I had a detachable jaw that I could just
Oh my God.
remove up
That would be
until
epic.
today. You guys
would
would
be
be like,
epic.
oh!
Oh my God,
Our
it's
jaws
just
will fall off.
Yep, it's true. It's true. All right, let's go with 186 boogers.
Ooh,
Thank you, Leathertown, for 186 boogers. Joe Lobb.
low-hanging fruit, but 186 boogers walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "Get out! We don't serve boogers here." And the boogers say, "That's not nice."
I was thinking the same. Yep, Riggy.
186 boogers walk into the bar. The bartender says, we don't serve boogers here. And the boogers say, why are you always picking on us?
Moonman, then Rigamarole.
186 boogers walk into a bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve boogers here." The boogers say, "Well, this blows."
Rigamarole.
186 boogers walk into the bar. The bartender says, we don't serve boogers here. The boogers say, well, we heard this was a great place to go to look for gold diggers. Because digging for gold is
Yeah.
another one.
Gotcha.
For picking
186 boogers walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "We don't serve boogers here." And the boogers say, "Oh, we just need a place to sit. We've been running all night." Joe Lobb.
186 boogers walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "We don't serve boogers here." And the boogers say, "Oh, this must be a new policy. I bet if you look underneath your chairs, you'll find some of your past customers."
Ew. Ew. And now it's changed to 186 mirrors. Evelyn.
186 mirrors walk into a bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve me here."
Moon.
186 mirrors walk into a bar, and the bartender says to an infinite number of himself, I don't serve mirrors here." And the mirrors just say, "We don't serve mirrors here."
Low-hanging fruit. 186 mirrors walk into the bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve mirrors here," and the mirrors say, "We're shattered!" Okay, one more. 186 mirrors walk into the bar. The bartender says, "We don't serve mirrors here," and the mirrors stare back at the bartender, hold up a drink, and go, "Well, here's looking at you, kid." And Rations.
186 mirrors walk into a bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve mirrors here," and the mirrors say nothing because the bartender was a vampire.
Moonman.
186 mirrors walk into a bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve mirrors here." And the mirrors say, we just wanted a Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary.
Candyman, Candyman, Candyman.
Final one. 186 ATVs. Puzzling ATVs. Alright. Low-hanging fruit, 186 ATVs walk into the bar, which they wouldn't do, of course. And the bartender says, "We don't serve ATVs here." And the ATVs say, "Alright, guys, let's roll." Riggy.
186 ATVs walk into the bar. The bartender says, we don't serve ATVs. And they turn around and they lock the door. Big mistake, buddy, because we're all trained in violence.
And Rations.
Wait, that was the wrong number. 186 ATVs walk into a bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve ATVs here." ATVs are like, "Okay, I got a plan." And they get out a Sharpie and they write on the last letter. And then the bartender says, "We don't serve ATMs here either." All
right, that's 186.
What?
Yep. Do you have one?
Yeah. Maybe it's a bad one. Anyways, 186 ATVs walk into the bar. The bartender says, "We don't serve ATVs here." And they said, "That's great. We're looking for beer. We have cable at home."
So bad it's good. That's 186. All right. Let's move through our big list of fun. Let's see. I am going to. Oh, no. Let's do my vacation with. Okay, so this is a game where one of our flops, and this is exciting. It's the Moonman has gone on an amazing vacation to an interesting location, and we are going to see photos from that vacation. So how the game works is I need you in the chat first to populate what celebrity or famous person or fictional person did the Moonman go on vacation with. Let's start with that. And we'll give you a second to put that in our chat. And then secondly, what weird place did they go on vacation? We'll want to see that as well. Okay. Yep, thank you. And this will be a game for me. I'll host it. The Moonman will be the guest. And the photos will be provided by Hand Rations, Joe, Lobb, and Evelyn. And of course, the Moonman will be describing photos that the Moonman hasn't seen. So it'll be a lot of fun to watch what happens next. All right. So let's see. All right. Moonman, I like this suggestion. You have, oh, that's a good one too. So I'm going to combine these two great suggestions. You went on vacation with baby Mr. Peanut. And where you went is you went into you vacationed in a Claude Monet painting. So
Living the dream.
Yep, totally. So, good evening. If it's 3 a.m. and it means it's time for Sunday Morning Hangover. I'm your host, Johnny Turbo, and I'm here with a local legend, really, Ralph Brigham Young University. Ralph Brigham Young University. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great, Johnny. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. You know, I've got about 14 beers in me, and I am ready to let this show rip. So I understand you've gone on vacation with a really unusual person, and I'm just dying to know how you met them.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say unusual. They're young, you know.
Sure.
It's actually a very young Mr. Peanut,
Oh,
and it is actually Mr. Peanut. Just there was a little time traveling incident, and now I'm good friends with a young Mr. Peanut. The old Mr. Peanut would never give me the time of day, but
So this Mr. Peanut doesn't have sort of prejudging values there. A little more open to the world.
It doesn't have the monocle yet. You know?
Oh, interesting. But the top hat and cane, yes?
And the top hat.
Okay. Maybe a new Mr. Peanut for the new millennium. Who knows? Okay, that's excellent. So where did you go on this interesting vacation?
We ended up vacationing in a Claude Monet painting. We had actually planned to go to a Manet painting, but I apparently did not know the difference, and I booked us the wrong destination.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people have the impression that they're the same, but they're not. They're not. It's true. Well, I understand that you have several photos from your vacation. So, Ralph, could we get the first one up, please?
I'm on it.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. So tell us what's happening here.
Well, there I am, grabbing my arm. I just been punched by some random character in the painting. Apparently, we were trespassing.
Mm.
That the resident of the painting had this really long mustache, and
A bit Dolly-esque, really.
oh yeah, it was pretty impressive. Overall, baby Mr. Peanut just it was all sorts of happy, just throwing a thumbs up, happy I gotten hit, because like I said, them young kids these days they're into that more violent stuff, all those video games.
Oh yeah, prevalent.
But we did end up apologizing. Mr. Mustache there invited us in. We had a nice little dinner. It was actually a much better day than the photo would lead you to believe.
Ah, well, wonderful, wonderful. So tell us a little bit just about what you did on that first day. Just kind of what sites that you might have visited.
Well, we did. We first tried walking, as far as we could into the background. And really, once you get back that far, everything just kind of blurs together. It's really
Yeah.
hard to tell if you're in a lake or on a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
It's all very much the same, but we got a little more back into the foreground and spent some time in a meadow.
No, I understand. In the meadows, something really interesting happened, and that's what we've got in our next photo. Let's see that photo, the incident at the meadow.
I'll get it up right now.
Well, I unfortunately Monet didn't paint bathrooms in
Mhm.
his paintings, and I decided I needed to take a little break. But there's no shelter, and I'm a shy pooper, so I didn't
Yeah.
get much done. Um, a, uh, a stranger offered to try to distract me by eating a worm from the field.
Mm.
It was an impressive worm. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't very defined because, again, it's a worm in a painting.
Yeah, it's the sense of a worm,
You
really.
see,
Yeah.
but and baby Mr. Peanut had kind of walked into the background again,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't really lose size. So it was a giant baby Mr. Peanut just kind of
Interesting.
looking down on us in the field, which made it extra hard for me to do anything.
I imagine that was very disorienting.
Yeah, it was. At, I guess might be a little bit like what would have happened had we gone to MC Escher.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's true. That's totally true. But I understand there were some real kind of joyous moments during this trek through the painting. It's such a colorful world, after all, of course. So I
Yes,
understand.
there are places around behind the frame that you can't see.
Ah, but you got special all access, correct?
Oh yeah, I mean
Well,
once you're in there, you can go
You're in
wherever
there,
you
right?
want.
So let's see. Our final photo is actually what nobody gets to see in the painting behind the frame. Let's check that out. Tell us what's happening here.
Well, I of course got a picture of me holding up one of the tacks that holds the corner of the painting in.
Mm.
Kind of like people do with like the Leaning Tower of Pisa and stuff. They'll insert themselves in. Except this, I'm actually touching the tack in the back of the painting. Baby Mr. Peanut, of course, has just fallen off the edge a little bit.
Oh, I see that. Yeah. Hope he didn't get hurt.
Well, fortunately, we were on the back. So
Right.
when baby Mr. Peanut fell, just kind of hooked around
Mm.
and landed on the front just fine.
Ah,
And
excellent.
some weird physics going around there. And while we were back there, you can see there's another painting hidden on the back there.
Yes,
And it's
fascinating.
actually Monet himself, uh, kind of dripping some ear out of his blood into his paint, so he could make part of himself the painting. It's kind
Really
of a
living the
self-portrait.
work. Yeah. Wow, that's fascinating. And let's face it, not everybody gets to see that. Who gets a peek behind a Monet? Not many people indeed. Ah. Well, sadly, that is all we have time for tonight. But please let us know if you go on any other interesting vacations, either with interesting celebs or just to unusual places. There's a reason you're a legend here in our town, of course.
Yeah, we'll see if I can get any of the M&Ms to try time travel, and then I can go with some baby M&Ms.
I like it, but if you do, go back and get that original red. Don't settle for that new red recipe. Okay. All right. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. I'm Johnny Turbo. This has been Sunday Morning Hangover, and we'll see you next week.
Ding 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 ding.
And we're back. All right. So, our next game this evening is a game that we call Foreign Movie Dub. And what we need everyone to do is in the chat, put in the name of a movie that you think should never be made. What's just like the worst movie title you could possibly think of? And please, please, please put that in the chat. And oh my gosh, there are some good suggestions already from the previous game that would make great movie titles. So we may snag one of those. This is a game tonight for our actors will be Rigamarole and Joe Lobb. And because it's a foreign movie, this film is going to need to be dubbed for those of us who speak English, but not a foreign language. So Rigamarole and Joe Lobb will be the actors. And our dubbers tonight will be the Moonman and Hand Rations will be dubbing in for us tonight. And let's see what title we have for this movie. Oh yeah, we are going to see an amazing film. This one was almost the winner at Cannes, and this film tonight is called Beef Ain't Ready. So we're going to see an epic scene from Beef Ain't Ready, of course starring Rigamarole and Joe Lobb, and thankfully the Moonman and Hand Rations will help the rest of us understand what's going on.
Well, I've been waiting for some time now. I'm getting tired of this. What's the wait?
Hey, man, you ain't ready for this. It's in the back, and I think that your mind's gonna be blown by whatever I have here. I'm just not ready for it.
Well, that's what I wanted. I've ordered something mind-blowing, and you said you could deliver, and now I've been sitting here just waiting, all excited, and now it's getting a little frustrating.
See,
I'm tempted to put on a hat and come back there.
You're a challenging customer, and we filled the order, but we're a little worried about the space-time continuum now.
But I don't deal with any of that stuff. I mean, that's not. I just want to eat. I want to eat beef, and just have lots of it. I want my belly to be full. I want to be content.
Hey.
Zen.
You want to eat a lot of beef, but you never specified how much beef. See, I have taken the liberty of calculating how much beef we can feasibly fit in this space, and it's just too much. You're not ready.
I've been training for months, years even. All I do is eat. Eat. I'm ready. I'm ready for this beef. As
Okay.
much as you can give me.
Look at you. You're not ready for half of this beef.
You know
You
what?
have the build of somebody that is on day one of training for this beef.
How dare you say something like that? I could eat half a pig right now, right in front of you, just to shame you.
You cannot get as much beef as I can eat. You know what? Let's just challenge ourselves to a beef off here. Nom 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 nom
Right,
nom.
let's do it. Do it right now.
Nom 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 nom. See, I already ate way more beef than I have ever eaten before. I'm honestly a little scared of it. Nom 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 nom.
I haven't even started. This is just an appetizer for me. I mean, I think I ate half the spoon. I don't know what your problem is. I'm eating a machine.
I have been eating spoons since before you were born, young man.
The spoons aren't even filling.
Yeah, well, this hand isn't even filling.
Huh. Well, I bet you can't eat all the way up to the elbow.
Nom 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 nom.
Go, keep going. A little more here. Let me help. Oh. Maybe you'll be like one of those snakes eating its own tail. Oh, this is so entertaining. I almost don't want the beef, and I just want to watch you eat yourself.
See, I do put on quite a show here. Look, only elbow.
Have you thought about getting yourself an OnlyFans? I'd be willing to give you some money for that. I got quite a few bills.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I have some bills to pay, so if you're willing to buy it, I'm willing to sell it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I was here. Let's shake on it.
Let's shake.
Yeah. Well,
Ugh, your
how
hand
about we,
smells like beef.
yeah, I could use a little more beef right now, but you know, I'd like to take you out to dinner.
Huh, me?
Yeah, I'd like you on my dinner table. I'm going
Well,
to just eat you.
I am interested.
Would you mind having an apple in your mouth as I put you on the rotisserie?
Well, I'm really much more of a pear person, but like maybe like a nice Honeycrisp or something like that. I'm very particular.
Okay, I can do that. Honeycrisp, not a problem. I carry one with me.
And scene. Who knew it was a horror film? Who knew it was a horror film?
Really liked
It was a horror
Jess's.
rom-com.
Yeah, I did too. My favorite part was when Jess was nom-nomming and Steve was going, hum. It was like that. I might pull that clip out and use that for our promos, right? Because it was that great. Well, all right, so that is that is our movie dub. Great job, everybody. Let's okay, we have a little more time than I thought we were running. Let's do Half-Life. This is a game for the Moonman and Hand Rations, and for your scene, what they're going to do is a two-person scene in 1 minute's time, and then they're going to do that same scene in even less time, and I will time them to be sure that's true. So to get the scene started, let's look in our big list of suggestions, and I'm going to give you one of the things that we got for the movie that we didn't go with, and your suggestion to inform the scene is fighting in the Costco line. Fighting in the Costco line. You have 1 minute to do that scene, and then we'll see it in successively less periods of time. Timer starts when the first person talks.
I've been pushing around this giant jug of syrup for the entire hour that I've been here. Where is the manager?
The manager is busy. I keep telling you that.
Well, I'm not lifting this onto the cash register.
It's not gonna scan on the register. You've got to wheel it over there so we can scan with a little gun on the cord.
Okay, help me lift this thing.
Ooh, that's more than 40 pounds. I'm not allowed to lift.
Unions? Okay. Well, just take the tag off and put it on me.
That's against store policy. But what I can do is I can get somebody over here with a forklift.
Okay, and can I actually just buy that forklift? I think that being able to lift things like that would be very beneficial to my shopping experience.
Let's get it over to the register and see if it'll scan.
Okay.
Over there.
Time. Okay, so that's our establishing scene, and that was good, but I feel like you have a better take in you. These fine flops are going to do the same scene for you now in a mere 30 seconds. And go.
I'm pushing around this giant jug of syrup for an entire hour. Where's the manager?
I told you he's busy.
Oh, I can't put this onto the cash register myself.
You need to take it over there so you can scan it on the little thingy on the cord.
Okay, help me lift this thing.
I can't. It's too heavy for me to lift.
Unions. Okay. Well, can I take the tag off and put it on me?
No. But what we can do is we can get a forklift over here. And
Okay, can I buy the forklift too?
Okay. That was good. But you can do better. We're going to see that same scene now in 15 seconds. And go.
I'm pushing around this giant jug of syrup.
I told you the manager's busy.
Okay, can you help me lift this thing on?
You have to take it over there. Scan.
Well, can you help me lift it at least?
Too heavy for me.
Okay, then let's get a forklift over here.
All right, I'll get it over here.
Time.
Can you?
That's pretty good. But you can do better. We're going to see that same scene now in a mere 5 seconds. Are you ready? And go.
The manager's busy. I'll take it over there.
I'll move this.
Scan it. Can't.
Okay.
We'll get a forklift.
Yeah.
Time. They've got one more better take in them. They're now going to do that same scene line by line, motion by motion in a mere 1 second. Are you ready? Go!
You're out of here.
Time! And that is Half-Life. Let's get all the flops back.
I'm one of them.
Ah.
There they are. We're going to finish off the show tonight with a little game. We'll play 2 rounds of it tonight. That way I'll jump in and play around. But I'll start being I'll start just by being the guy. Let's pick a topic. So how this game works is the flops in 4 minutes time are going to debate a topic, and you've given us several good ones to choose from. And each flop will get a chance to talk. They can ask to be recognized. If they ask to be recognized and their argument is a strong one, then they will be awarded the talking stick, as it were. The last flop standing at the end of 4 minutes wins. Simple as that. So, I'm going to give y'all a choice what you'd like to start with. Our suggestions are animals sentient? Another one is who really won the election in 2000? Is the Earth flat? We could also debate, do you put both socks on and then shoes, or sock, shoe? And finally, and this is intriguing, whether or not Hand Rations is a union-busting capitalist. So I think there are a lot of fine topics to choose from. And so I'm going to say any of those are good except for the last one I read about, Hand Rations, because for the second round I'm going to let Hand Rations host it, and we'll all debate whether Hand Rations is a union-busting capitalist. But for this one, which one who wants to do animals or sentient?
I like the socks and shoes one.
Socks and shoes, yes.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think that's the popular vote.
That's the popular vote, and that's what we're going to do here.
Funny enough, the popular vote's not who won the election in 2000.
Well, that's true. That is true. So, we're going to start on this one with Evelyn. We're going to let you have you start us off, and we're debating really, I guess, which is more proper? Put on your socks, then your shoes, or one sock, one shoe, one sock, one shoe? And I'm starting the timer now.
Gotcha. So, really, the proper one is socks, all socks, and then shoes, because I have stone floors, and we don't have a broom or a vacuum. Even though Hand Rations has, pestered me over the years to buy one. So all of this gunk, dust, branches, uncooked noodles are just littered on my floor, and I don't want that on my feet, right?
Rigamarole.
Well, if she's wearing socks, she could use the sock mop technique. It just dusts that all up.
Yeah, that's true.
Anytime you drop anything in the kitchen and you're wearing socks, whether it be pasta or noodles or pasta noodles or the water from a pasta, what else do you make in a kitchen?
Go Lobb.
But does candy corn figure into this? Or Neckos?
I think it does, actually, yeah. If Hand Rations is involved.
Yeah. Candy is mostly sugar. Sugar is sticky when it gets the slightest bit damp. So if you're willing to eat candy corn off your socks, then I say go for it. If you put on the shoes, though, it doesn't stick to the shoes, or at least not as well. So you might want to go sock, shoes, socks, too.
Melted candy corn sticks to everything.
That's true.
If you got some melted candy corn on the floor, you step on it with your shoe, you step on it with your bare feet, you put your hand in it, you put your hair in it like I did earlier, and that's why I should probably go get the scissors. I put these back here. I put my head back here so you can't see it. It sticks to everything. I just realized I put my hand in it, and now my hand's stuck, you see? So the debate about whether or not it sticks to your shoe is stupid, because of course it sticks to your shoe.
If it sticks to your hand, that's a treat for later. Why do you think they call me Hand Rations?
That's true.
See, if you put your hands on things that are sticky, sometimes those sticky things are edible. And then, I don't know, maybe you don't feel like making a bagel for lunch. Like, waiting for a bagel is just too darn long. So then you just have the candy corn and other various goo stuck to your hand, and you can just go, nom, 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 and then, boom, you have your lunch. And really, I think this technique should be adopted far more often, because having to hunt and gather for food, that is so last millennia.
Joe Lobb.
If you're young and flexible, you can eat it right off your feet. You don't have to go.
That's true. That's true, but
that's
disgusting.
internet. No, never mind.
That's true, but disgusting. Moonman.
I agree. Yeah.
You don't have to hunt and gather for sticky food. It's right there in the movie theater on the floor.
That's true.
I mean, it'll stick to whatever you're wearing on your feet, even if you're barefoot. I mean, you'll get a bit of sticky soda. That'll help you pick up some popcorn, maybe some nachos, occasional M&M.
This man is far too entitled. The movie theater is way too expensive for average people to be able to afford.
That's true.
The last time I went to a movie is when I was under 13, because they only sold tickets for $8 for people who were under 13. But I was too tall, so they always ask me, "Hey, are you over 18 or 13?"
If you wear a trench coat and make it look weirdly lumpy, they'll just assume that you're two kids in a trench coat and give you the child price.
That's true. I've done that.
See, the two kids in a trench coat thing, the people think the point is to not get caught. No, the point is to get caught, but then just have them think that you're just kids trying to pull a fast one, and they'll give you the lower price.
Evelyn, I saw your hand.
Yes, I was going to say that at my movie theater where I grew up, if you were over 9 feet tall, you had to pay double, and two kids in a trench coat are over 9 feet tall. And also,
that's true.
Bringing it back to Riggy, paying to see a movie maybe.
Time! Evelyn wins! Evelyn steals it back at the end. Nicely done.
Thank you, guys.
The trench coat is, I mean, there are going to be kids all across America trying that trick now to actually get caught. So that's great. That's great.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you and Mrs. Gumby, give it a go. Let us know how it worked. All right. So we're going to debate one more topic, and I went in on this debate. Hand Rations, you get to moderate this debate, and this is whether or not you're... Yeah, you got to keep time, too. It's dual responsibility.
Wait, how much time is on the timer thing?
10 minutes. 42 minutes.
Half an hour, and then we have a quorum.
Right.
And then we pick teams.
And
Do
then
research.
we invite back previous cast members to weigh in. It's a whole thing. It's 2 plenary sessions. It's great. So we're going to be debating, of course, whether Hand Rations is or is not a union-busting capitalist. And Hand Rations, you get to pick who starts.
Let's have Evelyn start again since she won
Yep.
the last one.
Okay?
And
Hand Rations is a union busting capitalist. Last show on Wednesday, I met her brother, and he told me something that he has never told anyone before. And his real name, the one that is on his ID, is Buster.
Interesting.
Yep.
Ricky,
That ID was fake, and we all know it.
say more.
The reason why we all know it is because Hand Ration's brother is actually 2 kids in a trench coat, and he is 2 13-year-old kids in a trench coat, and he was trying to sneak some liquor at the bar where they perform.
Creme Fraiche?
Now, Riggy's wrong. It looked like 2 kids in a trench coat. It was actually Hand Ration's father in a trench coat, and the other thing was the ukulele. And that is the whole point of conflict in Hand Ration's family. Because Hand Ration's father is a dedicated union man. And Hand Rations is always following him around to all his gigs and, holding up anti-union
Lobb.
signs.
This is not considering Hand Ration's future. As a
Say
member
more.
of the entertainment community, Hand Rations is going to have to join SAG after union after union. But she wants to fake them out and make them think that she's against them. And then the minute she joins, she will drop her false colors and say, I love unions. Unions are great. Unions have done so much for me. And I want to do as much as I can for these unions. So if I make a lot of money, my dues go up. And so you get rich. So come on, everybody, hire me. Hell, I'm already half a member of Kids in the Hall. I mean, where do you go from there? So she is being very sneaky and kind of underhanded about this.
Ricky,
You have to be Canadian to be a member of Kids in the Hall, and I haven't seen you renounce your United States citizenship yet.
not yet. Keep going, Joe Lobb.
Yeah,
Oh.
I did not know that you had to be Canadian. I just thought it was a rough coincidence. Anyway, she's well on her way to getting there. She's going to have more union cards. Like that scene in the movie where the guy opens up his wallet and goes boom, 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 boom.
It's a little known fact, and none of you know it. That's how I know. That Hand Rations is so Canadian that Hand Rations can sing all of the words to "Oh Canada." Yeah.
And you can too. Keep going, Creme Fraiche.
Yeah. Oh Canada, Hand Rations loves you so. The kids in the hall, you're going to go far and make comedy for the ages.
Evelyn, was that a hand?
No.
No,
Okay.
let him keep going.
Singing about Hand Rations. Oh, Hand Rations.
Joe Lobb.
The last time I was at a hockey game, there was no mention of Hand Rations in the national anthem.
Well, how dare they? But tell me about this hockey game.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course they play the Canadian anthem and the U.S. anthem. And for some teams, they should play the Soviet anthem, too. But I didn't hear a thing about Hand Rations, so...
Creme Fraiche.
He's lying. The Soviet Union's defunct.
Say more.
Yeah, anyone who follows world history knows that the Soviet Union crapped out about 1991, 1992. And so really what's been revealed here is
Ricky?
Joe Lobb.
The Soviet Union isn't a place, it's more of a state of mind.
True that. Keep going.
It's true.
For most of the world, the Soviet Union is gone. It's kaput. But there are certain people, I'm not going to say their name because, they'll come for me, that believe it still exists and want to make it whole again. And I think, of course... Hey! Soviet...
I'm talking about the Soviet Union.
I was looking to chime in and go, be very careful, comrade.
Be careful what you say.
Be careful what you say on the YouTube
See,
machine.
I like that you did the fake cough thing as though you were going to say a name, but then you decided not to say a name, so it just ended up being a cough.
It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing.
His hand is stuck to his head. Give him a break.
Yeah, come on.
Give this person a.
Is it really stuck to his head, or is it a Soviet listening device?
Ah.
Yeah, speak a little
That's true.
closer.
Speak into the gum, into the candy corn.
I don't even know what a KGB is.
What is it? Candy.
You know, it's a
stands
little
for-
bug in a cage that wants to get out. I'm all
No,
American
no.
boy.
No. KGB stand for candy corn. Good, bro.
Like all American, love candy corn.
Ah, love it. The ones that only have 2 of the candies are the best. The best. All right. On that weirdness, that's our show for this evening. Thank you to our cast. If you haven't yet made a small contribution to help us support Tompkins Community Action, the link is below us. Please feel free to do that. No amount is too small to do great work in our community. If you are in our geographical vicinity, we will be at the 8 Gallery in Cortland, New York next Thursday for our 4th Thursday show.
What's
Check
the
that
date
out.
on that one so people know?
Well,
Thursday.
Now I'm going to have to look it up on my phone. Let's do that. 'cause I don't
June
know.
22nd,
Thank you, Rigamarole.
2023.
22nd. 7 p.m. Yep. It will be in person, and one of the great things about our in-person shows is, of course, we don't have lag, so we can do music, and there'll definitely be some musical games as well. So come on out, check it out, and thanks for being here tonight. And thanks to our cast.
Everybody say goodbye to Lemon, who's gonna make the show and Lemon end the show.
Da, 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 da.
Good job.